Welcome to the Landscape Photography Vlogcast. Join me, Mr. Photoninja, and Mr. Paul Thompson Photography from YouTube. Every Sunday morning at 10 AM for everything photography related. And also look out for some special guests. Grab yourself a brew, beer, or something stronger, and let's get into this week's Vlogcast. So, Darren, if you want to just let's introduce yourself a little bit, mate. For people who haven't known you.
I'm Darren. I'm from Ireland. I'm a landscape photographer. I'm one half of the Irish Photography Podcast. The other half is on the other side of the screen there, I suppose.
Who's the best looking one? Yeah, I'll tell you.
Diarmuid, for sure. I have a face for radio, hence why we started the podcast. But now we're moving into video. So yeah, you know, I'm a photographer, but I'm also a YouTuber, and I enjoy making filmmaking as well. It's something that kind of has excited me a lot over the last number of years. And I think the biggest part for me is be able to tell a story, not only through a photograph, but to bring somebody along with video. And I really enjoy the whole idea, I suppose, of capturing what I'm seeing and putting it on film and then putting the whole video itself together. Editing is something that I'm really excited about and learning more about, but it all depends on the project that I'm doing as well, because it can end up being very frustrating as well. You just kind of say, okay, I got my photo, that's done. But now when I move into the video editing side of things, it kind of adds another complexity to it, you know. So yeah, that's me. Yeah. That's what I do from an Irish point of view. And you'll find me anywhere really around Ireland. I love the sea, I love the woods, and I love to travel as well as much as I can. But to get out and about and take the photos outside is where I am. That's about it. I'm a one-trick pony. I've tried to do other things, but nothing really that I've done well, let's just say. And I've never ventured into the foray of taking portrait photographs, or not wedding photographs. Never would be for me, I don't think. No. You know, put me out in the landscape where I can take a photograph, where I don't have to tell a tree to pose.
You got to be interested in it as well, haven't you? To make a go of it, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, it's if you really enjoy something, then I think you get a great buzz out of being out there, number one, and it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like, oh no, I got to go out and do this again. You know, I mean, for me, it's getting out. And landscape photography, I think, is really good because it teaches us to, you know, slow down. You know, we're all moving every single day and we're flying around the place. But when you get out with the camera, for me, it just changes things completely, and they allow to switch off. And 9 times out of 10, there's no mobile signal. So a work point of view, it kind of stops at the roadside when I leave the car. And from there on in, I'm with my cameras and tripods, because you have to take more than one. You know, apparently it's fashionable. But yeah, so I'm just out there and enjoying it for that, you know.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, well, I'm Diarmuid. I'm from Ireland also, and I am the better half of the podcast, especially the better looking, as Darren says. And I'm glad you actually admitted it now, because
at this age, come on, man.
Like, you know, is that why you grew the beard, is to get rid of the facial features that, you know, that let you down?
Yes. It's like a disguise, you know. I mean, if I could grow from the top of my head all the way down like Wolfman, I'd be fine, you know.
Excellent. But look, me myself, I picked up my first camera back in 2013, and I just got this mad kind of itch, this bug, just to take photographs. It didn't matter what it was, whether it was a leaf, a bridal couple, a landscape, a rock, absolutely anything. I just wanted to photograph it. But you know what's funny then? But slowly but surely, I got pickier and more, more annoyance at the fact that I only wanted to take photographs of certain subjects as I kind of progressed in my career as I was moving along. But where you find me most of the time really is on landscape photography or portraits and that kind of side of things. I love kind of doing those projects. And only recently, since, I don't know, about 15, 14 months ago, I started the whole YouTube kind of vlogging lifestyle. And that's where I met the two of you guys. And I'd met Darren previous to this already, but Darren kind of had this cattle prod and just made me do it, you know. And at first I was a bit hesitant. I didn't really want to do it, and then I kind of okay, maybe I'll do a speechless vlog. That lasted one episode. I remember that. You know, as everyone, but myself and Darren will tell you, we'll talk for Ireland. We'll talk the back legs off a donkey, and we just love talking and chatting. Hence the whole podcast thing, you know.
Yeah.
So fast forward 14 months on, and we've got our own podcast. Our YouTube channels are very healthy, especially for my one. And Darren's like they're very young. So like I've less than what is it? I got 850 subscribers as of yesterday. So I'm really loving it. And who knows where this kind of avenue, this kind of style of vlogging is going to take me. But I'm really excited about what I have to offer. Not only for myself, but for all the viewers and listeners, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think you've got the voice for it, mate.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Yeah.
See, I usually have the problem with my vlogs that I don't talk enough to camera. You haven't got that problem.
No. Think of it this way, right? I started rebuilding my van to turn it into a camper / utility van, so I can just get away and just leave civilization and leave my children, because they just drive me up the walls, man.
Me too, brother.
Tommy, your baba's still too young to drive you up the walls, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't know if I'd say that. She's on the way. She was 2 yesterday, so she's
the worst.
She's a little girl.
Happy birthday.
She's a little girl, so I'm already outnumbered.
Yes. Yeah,
Diarmuid's
in the same boat actually too. Yeah. Diarmuid lives in the house of females.
Yeah, I can't see any. Yeah, 2 girls.
And a female dog and a wife, so I'm actually outnumbered by everyone. Get back to the van, right? So I said, because we're all in kind of this situation where we're kind of we have a lot more time. I don't want to say what it is because I just don't want to. I don't want to say the word. But I started to vlog the rebuild of the van, right?
Yeah.
And then I started going, look, this is what I'm doing, blah 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 blah. And then I'm not even fucking halfway through this thing yet. And I started piecing it together so I don't have to do it a week down the line. And the timeline was over 20 minutes already. And I was like, how the hell am I going? I can't put this out. It's too long. I need to shut that up. Just more B-roll and just shut up, man. Just shut up and just record B-roll and I'll be fine. And that's what I'm going to do from here on out.
Yeah.
What? You're going to finish it with just B-roll?
No, I'll have to talk some bit, but you know what I mean? I need to just shut up, relax.
True story. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't have that problem at all. I'm always worrying about, I've got B-roll, but I haven't done anything to camera.
yeah, it's always a challenge, isn't it, when you think about it? Like, but you know what? I find that maybe all 4 of us make videos, right? So it's kind of a different situation to going out and taking a photograph, right? So if you think about it, when you go out and take a photograph, you compose your shot, you're nice and calm, you're nice and taking care of things. Okay, the light comes, you're going, okay, I'm ready for the light, I'm going to take a photograph. No, you add in video to that.
Yeah.
And you're like, hang on, geez, I got to get a bit of re-roll of this. Hang on, I got to get a bit of that. Hang on, the sun is coming behind the tree. Oh, shit. Oh, hang on. What? And all of a sudden you're going, I'm supposed to be here to relax.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get all these things done. And I got to do my piece to camera as well, you know?
And I've also just missed the shot because I was running around like a blue-ass fly trying to get the rest.
Yeah. Has that actually happened, all of you? Have you actually missed a shot because of vlogging?
Oh, I've done it before.
Yeah. More so at sunset than at sunrise.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's a specific shot in view that I've always been after, and I did get a couple of times, but it's not. I still haven't got the best of it. But you need like that tide sort of right. There's some steps which lead out to the sea, and some handrails and some footprints that are sort of in the concrete when they set them. But you need the sea or sort of around it to sort of simplify the mid-ground.
Yes.
And every time I go there, it's either an incoming tide, so vlogging it's just a nightmare, and you're stood on this tiny little bit of concrete, so you haven't really there's nowhere to go back if you get in a pickle or you it's just nowhere. There's no plan B. So I've gone there so many times with the vlogging camera, and I've just left it on top because I just wouldn't get the picture, or I would, but I'd end up in the water. So swim? Yeah, I could swim. Yeah, I didn't get a bad idea because I could, I could ditch if I got the the Nikon well, I could just replace it with a Canon then, couldn't I?
Oh, you could.
Yes.
It's a much better camera. You know, it's just
Here we go.
you know, the video on the Canon ESR compared to, what is it, a Z6? Is it even a 6? Is it like a 5.5? I don't know. It's in 7. Don't get me wrong, they're very good cameras. You know, it's like Nike and Adidas, right? I love Nike, and I wouldn't be caught dead wearing Adidas. You know, but it's not to say Adidas aren't absolutely awesome. You know, what's in their head? Clock? Isn't that a no, the cycling team. What's my hands? What are they doing? I don't know.
Are you on a mountain bike?
That's it. They're a mountain bike company, aren't they? Fox.
Yeah. I do motocross stuff and that.
Yeah.
How are you going to censor that?
Everyone needs to know what he's like. That's There's no, you can't hide it.
I mean, I have a fishing rod that I normally have here. I have to catch him and reel him back in every so often because he goes off on a.
He just needs me with the fishing rod. He doesn't reel me in. He just hits me.
No, that's when you don't come the first time when we actually break the gut. Then I have to use the fishing rod to drag you back in. You know what I mean?
I could have him up for GBH about 20 times, and that's being totally honest. The things he does to me off camera is absolutely ridiculous. It's shocking.
You need to get it on camera.
General best hero. Okay. I take that one, like, sure. But you know, you say there, Tom, about missing the shot, right? Something that I think is a very good idea to do, but I've never gotten it right to do it yet, but is to use the GoPro, if you have a GoPro, and when you're under pressure for time, just pop it on your head or pop it on your chest, on your bag, and have it record what you're seeing, but then you've got your audio coming in the back of it. I mean, it's a great idea to do it. You've seen Tom Heaton do it a few times, but he gets it right. I mean, I've tried it twice, and every time I'm looking at the sky or I'm looking at the ground, you know what I mean? But the idea was okay. The thought that counts, it was the execution that was poor, like, you know? That's at least that's summed up generally anyway. But
it's funny how, like, when everyone first started, it was everyone was using GoPros, weren't they?
Yes.
And then the sort of the level was there, and then everyone was like, right, I've got to get like a mirrorless compact camera.
Yes.
To up my game, and then everyone's gone up there, and then now everyone's thinking, oh, now I need a GoPro to film a third angle, and I'm thinking, well, I've sold all my GoPro stuff now. Now I'm gonna have to go and get some more GoPro stuff to keep up with the Joneses. Like, it's just where do you end with it?
Yeah. So, do you both use an M50 for taking your videos? Yeah.
No, generally I don't.
No.
I got the M50 for that, but then I went to the Osmo Pocket.
Yay!
Unbelievable camera.
It's superb.
An unbelievable camera.
Superb just to carry
you got one of those,
with
Tom?
No, I haven't got one. No.
Nah.
I feel left out.
I poke him there, no?
Yeah.
You're underneath me on my screen, so it's not going to work.
Who am I poking now?
That's me, mate. That's me.
I knew I was
No, that's Darren.
I got to go this.
There's no way we're keeping this to 40 minutes, is it?
No.
Wait, come on. Shut up, Dad. See, I told you he never shuts up. Go on.
No, the Osmo Pocket's superb. It's a superb little thing for what we do.
Oh yeah, it's unreal. You know,
it's
great. I mean, what I love about it is you've got it straight away. It's out. It's done. It's recording. It's stabilized video. The quality from it is incredible. I remember the first time I saw it in real life as opposed to online was when Diarmuid got it, because of course it's shiny. Diarmuid has a thing. He's got a problem called gas.
Yeah,
so,
I heard about this. Yeah.
If it's shiny, you know, he has to have it.
You can see the piles of shit behind him. Look at it.
Yeah, that's a very small lens that you have on the camera there. Were you looking at the moon there the night before or something, were you?
I was actually.
yeah, with the bazooka, yeah. And the other camera that's over there is your underwater camera.
Yeah, that one there,
Yeah. So he suffers from a thing called gas, you know, and the Osmo Pocket came out and he was like, yeah, Darren, I have to get it. I went, all right, fair enough. Like, yeah. So he got it just as we were going over at that time, actually, to the UK for the photography show. And we went up to Northumberland and you had it on that way and you used it when we were going up the road in the car and you recorded the wind turbines, but you did it in slow motion. And it was just, I was looking at it going, man, from that, Really?
Yeah.
And then you plug the phone into it, and you're looking, going, Jesus Christ, really?
It's
And
amazing.
I was like, okay, yeah, I got to get one of those. Now, it took me a while to get it because I have control over my gas. I actually waited till somebody was sick of theirs and that they sold it secondhand.
Yeah, that's what I did as well.
And just who got that for you?
You get all my deals from me, man, because you spend your life on the deal sites. Again, like something we discuss regularly on the podcast is Diarmuid's daily habits. And the first thing most people do when they wake up in the morning is they check social media, or they might check Facebook, or they might check emails, or they might check text messages. Not this guy.
eBay.
He checks adverts.ie, which is an Irish website where people can put stuff up like to buy and sell. And now he's checking it to see if anybody has bought some of his gear. But in the past, it was, has anybody accepted his audacious offers that he puts on a product that somebody paid their hard-earned money for? And then this guy swoops in at the last moment and says, yeah, you're looking for 300? I'll give you 50.
There is a hint of truth to that, but come on, you're bending it ever so slightly.
I give him 55.
Give him 100.
yeah.
Well,
But that's a great camera. That's a great camera, you know.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Would you be excited to find out tomorrow that DJI is going to release the DJI Osmo Pocket 2.0 with a Hasselblad's 1-inch sensor like the Mavic Pro 2?
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Because that's what's coming next. I guarantee it.
Be nice. Be nice.
It has to be what's coming next, isn't it?
Yeah, they sold too many of them not to do a point 2, didn't they? You know?
Yeah, exactly. But it has to be the next iteration. How are they going to make it any better than what they currently have? I mean, what they have on the DJI Mavic Pro 2 is a great camera, but the Mavic Pro 3, which was supposed to come out in January, but that other company, Diarmuid, what's the name of that other company, the drone company?
Alcatel or something.
Alcatel. Alcatel's a phone company.
Alcatel,
but they came out basically with a drone a week or 10 days or something like that at a show before DJI were reportedly supposed to release the Mavic 3. And DJI pulled the Mavic 3 because this thing was given 8K video, had a better range, it had full autonomous flight with all cameras, all their own proximity sensors, you name it. It would do whatever you wanted to do, but apparently it was going to be similar price, I believe, but slightly less than what it's there, you know?
Right.
Now we're on timeout. You need to restart it. It's stuck.
No, it's just saying that
includes unlimited minutes.
yeah.
Oh, look at that.
What was that about then?
Hang on, I got to go back to that. So again, oh, there he is. Oh, he's gone.
Extra special.
They've got rid of the 40-minute limit.
A coronavirus special.
Yeah.
I spent some money, man. I got the good zoom.
So what I elect to be done is, Tom, I think you should buy the Osmo Pocket 2.0. When you get sick of it, let me know. I'll give you 50 quid for it, all right? All right, deal, done.
Yeah, 55.
Yeah, I'd love to see the price of that thing when it comes out.
I come here, you know what? I'd like to see the price of anything when it comes out.
Yeah,
The price of anything is going to be
see.
completely different. Plus, all the manufacturers that have all the stockpiles of pre-manufactured goods along the way that they'll try and get rid of before the new ones, which were due to come out now, which were due to be launched, which have been made. So I think there's going to be great value in the market for everybody.
Oh
soon.
yeah, I think there will be, definitely, because at the end of the day, a lot of people ain't been able to work neither, or on 80% of their money, and nobody's going to be able to afford to buy houses, pay rent, buy new cameras. I don't know, do anything other than buy bread. So I don't know. I think if you were looking for a deal, I think it is coming.
Yeah,
I think.
No, absolutely. I think you're dead right. I think there's going to be a huge amount of change from people in how they buy stuff. And, you know, now in the past, it's a case of, I want the new one. I want the latest, like Diarmuid. It's shiny. I must have it. But that's not going to be the situation any further. That's not going to be the situation, I don't think, anytime near in the future, because you'll have people exactly as you said, Tom. You know, I mean, we're going through something right now which nobody in any of our lifetimes has experienced nor could prepare for. And you've shut down the entire world, not just one part of the economy, but it's effectively the entire economy. The only thing that's going is services.
Yeah.
So the camera business and digital camera business was something that was already retracting and now all of a sudden you take away the luxury lifestyle, let's just say, of being able to spend. I mean, look, how much is this new Canon EOS R5 going to be? €4,500 or pounds or something?
Yeah.
It's going to be around $4,000, I reckon, yeah.
Like, there's not going to be many people out there that are going to turn around and go, you know what, $4,000? Yeah, sure, look, yeah, sure, we've had 9 months there of doing nothing. It's all right, sure, just take my $4,000.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, I'm
Got
excited
somebody
about
there in the backyard. It's all right, lads. It's all right.
Well, I'm sort of been holding off investing in a whole new system, so I'm in no rush now. I'm just going to leave it and see what happens. And
Yeah, you
I
probably
definitely think
where are you going?
I don't know where I'm going to go really. I would go Canon if the R5 was out, I think, and I was happy. I would probably go Canon. Yeah, I'm not going to like to be tied to Nikon.
All right.
I like the Z7.
Have you used Fuji?
No.
Okay.
No, not personally. No, I've been out shooting with people that have used Fuji's, but I've never actually used it personally. No.
Okay,
No.
and have you used Sony?
No, I haven't. No.
Paul, would you be someone now that would be able to sell Sony now to Tom, or would his mixture between Nikon and Canon take over, do you think?
Look at him.
Look at that. It's shiny. It's shiny.
You like it. Oh, Tom suffers from gas. Look, there's serious gas here. Like.
I've got 2 of them. That's so good, dear.
You just want to lend me one then, didn't you?
Heck off.
He needs 2.
I'll leave this here.
I just fly the Canon flag. Do you know what? Here's the reality, and I'll be honest with you here. The EOS R camera is absolutely outstandingly good. And, you know, you go with the EOS R5, okay, you're going to pay $4,500 for it. You're going to get file sizes that is going to be too big in reality for you to use. You're going to get 8K video that you're never going to use. Okay, you'll get 2 card slots. What do you do? I mean, look, you know, I'm glad Nikon came out first and got the bad name for the single card slot. Canon didn't take all the rap, but they ended up not having it. But that new camera is going to have the second card slot. So what? So that camera here, how much can you buy that camera for now? You said to me on eGlobal, €1,500. So how much that in pounds?
Yeah. I don't know, about £1,300.
Yeah.
Similar
price. I've looked at the EOS R. Yeah, I have.
That's an incredible camera.
If I'm honest, I would like to go S1R.
Flippy screen.
Dermot can talk to you about that as well. Actually.
Yeah, because I did have one on loan for a few weeks, about 3 weeks, and absolutely, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. The only thing I didn't like was it was pretty girthy, but
It's heavy, man. It is heavy.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like you know, us vloggers with the 2 of everything, I didn't really notice a huge amount of extra weight in my bag anyway. If I'm honest, like because but yeah, obviously it was heavier. But
I noticed it in my hand when I was taking photographs. I was there going, "Wow, this is different." It definitely is. But when I stuck that Leica lens onto it, that 50 with 1.4. Oh, I was just wet all over. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. It was
because you fell in the water.
Yeah, it's a nice big kit, isn't it?
Transformed that camera into just something special. You know, it really, really did.
It just looks. It reminds me of a Sony body, but with a on steroids. You know.
I thought it reminded me of a Nikon body.
Oh really? What? Because it's like, you know, just superior sort of quality, or
You're right there. You're right there.
I'm having a nervous breakdown here.
Is that cough still continuing there since the last podcast, Diarmuid? Do you want to get for that, man?
You nearly made him waste his beer there, you know.
Beer. I don't drink beer. I'm a pioneer.
Mayor, question for you actually though, Tom, on regards to that Panasonic. Did you try out the stabilization within it from a taking photo point of view? Did you challenge yourself or anything like that to see how good the stabilization was?
Not in terms of a vlog, but I did go out shooting Littlin on the beach with a long lens and noticed that you could get it took the thinking out of shutter speed so much in terms of getting it. Like you didn't have to think, I have to crank my ISO up to get the shutter speed. I just sort of stuck it in. I don't know what shutter speed was, but I didn't even have to think about it. It was it was just sharp. So,
what did you get, Diarmuid, on it? 2.5 seconds or something like that, was it?
Yeah, 2 seconds definitely. 2.5 I think was okay, but 2 seconds was fine. Handheld.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
When
I was hand holding it, I had to hold it in a certain way that was very well stabilized. I couldn't just go like this and hold it and be going all over the gap. But fab, loved it. I really enjoyed it. But would I buy one tomorrow if I had the money? No.
What?
Buy another EOS R. 3. It's the magic number.
Darren, it's funny that you say that, right? Because I tied with the idea of buying another, well, not another because I don't have a Canon RP for my vlogging camera. So I'd stick that on my Ronin SE. Now I use one of the ESRs for vlogging sometimes with my Ronin SE, or if I'm feeling lazy or if I'm going on a big hike, then I'd use the Osmo Pocket. But then I was thinking, right, if I got the Ronin SE and then put an RP on that, it'd be nice and light. But the RP, the only problem is it doesn't have C-Log. And before I bought the Canon ESR, I would have been like, C-Log? Sure, what's the point in C-Log? Who needs C-Log? But when you shoot C-Log for the first time and then you can see what you can do in the grading process in Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro, it's just, oh my God, this is just pure sexual chocolate. Like that.
Why did they change the name of C-Log to sexual chocolate? I bet you more people would use it.
They should. Yeah. They should.
But yeah, do you know why you say it's interesting you say that there, right, about using C-Log, because I remember when I had the what was it called? The Osmo Ronin, or not Osmo Ronin, what was it called? What's that DJI thing that I had? DJI Osmo, the big thing anyway with the ball head camera in the back, right? Whatever it was called. And I sold it there around 6 or 8 months ago. I don't know what it was called, but it was the original DJI, the big brother of the DJI Osmo Pocket. It was the Osmo Plus.
Oh, the Osmo Plus.
Oh yeah. I know the one you mean. Yeah.
And the idea behind it was phenomenal, right? Because it was the same camera that was being used on the Inspired drone, and it was stabilized, okay, and it was a good solid unit you could use. You could plug in your phone, you could see what was happening. Grand job. And I went, C-Log, man, okay, yeah, I'm going to use that. But I got home and I plugged it into the computer, and then all of a sudden I went, oh my God, man, I have to now do editing on my video as well as doing editing on my photos. Sod that, straight back to normal, let it do the computing automatically for me, and I don't need to spend that extra period of time of playing around in Final Cut Pro, which is not the greatest for color grading, let's be fair, unless you showed me on your video that you gave me on my fall of the secret waterfall.
Yeah.
But even at that, I was like, this is completely counterintuitive to what I normally would do looking at when I'm seeing the video, because it looks as flat as a pancake.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you go, oh, hang on, there's something coming through here. Oh, something better coming through here. But it's an extra few steps that I don't think I really want to take. So I did that with the Osmo Plus, and then you gave me the file footage from the EOS R, and I went, you know what? No, I prefer just to keep this on auto.
Yeah.
I must admit, I'm not. I can't be bothered with sitting there for hours grading it.
Same.
Must admit.
You don't have to be sitting there for hours. I have this process. It's just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Oh, sugar.
Which is which one? Which one is wham? Which one is bam? Which one is thank you? And which one is ma'am?
All I have to do is...
Here's an idea for you. You could create a video, the 4-step process to color grading, call it wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Watch the clicks you'll get on that one.
It's simple. It's very, very easy. Do you know what? And look, I won't lie to you. At first, it took me months to figure this out. I was there going, man, this is stupid. I hate grading. It's the worst thing ever invented. But when you get it, when it clicks, it just dawns on you. It's like, oh my God, this is so easy. Why isn't I doing this the whole time?
Yeah.
I suppose you just not create a preset that you just drag over the top of your footage. Can you not just do that?
You can to a certain, well, you have these things called LUTs. So a LUT is called a lookup table. So that can do it for you. It's kind of like a starting process. It's like a benchmark. So if you go into Lightroom, you have your presets and your profiles, which you can use, which are two totally different things, but the same thing at the same time. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, so
tune in next week for Don't Quote Me on That.
Yeah.
But it's factual training program.
So you throw a LUT on and kind of gives you a kind of a base mark, and you can go from there and you can fine tune it. But slowly but surely, I'm starting to not use LUTs and just grading just from my own viewpoint and what I want to see and what I want the viewers to see, what I want to portray, and just get across to the table, you know, what I want. Yeah.
I suppose it must be quite hard though, doesn't it, to sort of make your videos look uniformed as well, if you're color grading each video.
Well, you can match them. So if I edit one patch of an edit, and then if the next, just say 4 clips down is there a different white balance ever so slightly, and then a few different things, you can actually take a color kind of picker and say, match this style to this clip, and it'll do it for you.
Right.
You know, the process is easy.
But it's an absolute nightmare if you bring footage from somebody who has this footage and you're not using it, because all of a sudden you're going, what? Am I?
Yeah, what am I doing with this?
And you go, okay, match from which clip? Okay, I match from my Canon G7X. All right, okay, that should be similar. It's Canon color profile. Should be similar. No, it's not, because it's already been done by your camera. This thing is this flat as a pancake file, and you're going, why am I even bothering doing this? Bang, done, job done.
He rang me. He said, there's something wrong. Well, what's going on here? He says, what's the crack? He's like, screen share. I want you to talk me through exactly what I have to do. And how easy was it? No, you did do it.
But I still ended up with footage that was more saturated than your footage that you use in your one, following your advice. Yeah, that's grand there. No, yeah, that's okay there. No, yeah.
I didn't see that clips that you wanted to use. How am I supposed to know?
Different to you with the same clip. You had exactly the same clip of me, the aftermath of me falling on my arse and filling it full of mud.
That's funny. Did you see that by any chance? Yeah, it's hilarious. Go check his vlog or my vlog, and you can
it was really hilarious. Yeah. I mean, I guess you gave me that footage, and afterwards I was going, nah, do you know what? I just get it done easier. I just get it done on the camera, and I used the GoPro, and then all of a sudden I used the GoPro for the video. And what does he decide to do? But just completely obliterate me and take the piss out of me in his own video, because you know, when you use a GoPro, you can talk to the GoPro, so you can say GoPro start recording, and it starts to record. And when you finish, you say GoPro stop recording, and it stops recording. What does this guy do? Darren, he likes to talk to the camera so much he wants to go the extra step. GoPro start recording. GoPro stop recording. GoPro start recording. GoPro stop recording. What was that about? Like, do you know what I mean?
I don't know. It just came out of my mouth. I'm sorry. I apologize. I feel bad deep down inside. You know, yeah, I do apologize. But in fairness, I'm sorry,
you did take your Osmo Pocket into that area, and that area was quite wet. I'm surprised it's not broken, being honest.
All right, just cut it up there. I'm back in now. What happened there?
I don't know. You froze.
I said, because besides you took your Osmo Pocket into that area, and which was really, really wet, and I'm surprised it's not broken.
None of my gear ever breaks.
Rhino?
Shut up.
No, they do pretty well, those Osmo Pockets. They're pretty well, apart from Gavin managed to break his. But
how did he break his?
Well, he got covered in a wave, didn't he?
Did you see that video?
Yeah, that video where he got covered in a wave. I think that was the death of the Osmo Pocket.
Should have taken the piss about him with that during the week.
Didn't cop it. Did I see that video? What video was that in?
I think it only appeared in a very short clip at the very beginning of one of their videos. Probably it was on a 5-second clip.
Yeah.
Oh, is that when he got drowned himself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize his Spasmo rocket thing in the jig.
Yeah, that was the end of it.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, because if I'd known that, I could have said he could have sent over the Spasmo rocket. No, because he's got no purpose for it. He's got no use. Do you know?
They charge you €1,000. We'll go over it.
Oh, you throw it in there, but you with your shit tickets.
Yeah.
Right, next
True.
one. Have you got another one, Tom? Or?
Is that the first question?
Yeah, that's 30 minutes for the first question.
You're all right, lads. Jesus Christ. I charge by the hour as well, just let you know, guys.
The best bit is,
just so.
the best bit is we haven't even answered the question.
The question was, I'm better looking than Darren anyway, so that's fine. Let's
That
move
was
on.
answered very quickly. That was okay. I answered that one for you. Go on, yeah. Sorry, you go. Question 2.
Question 2. I've lost all train of thought now. It's too late.
Darren is too old. He's blinding you. Sorry.
This-
I apologize for him.
Your own podcast and the Irish Photography Podcast. How did that come about? How did you guys meet and decide let's do a podcast?
Want to answer that, Darren, or will I?
You can have the floor there for a moment. I'll correct any of your fake news.
All right. So, long story short, like I used to be a landscaper, so I'd be on these drive-on lawnmowers all the time, and I listened to music a lot, and then I kind of got bored of music, the same songs over and over again. So then a friend of mine said, "Why don't you listen to a podcast?" And I was like, "Okay, I don't really know anything about them." And he was like, "Look, just what are you into?" I was like, "Basketball, photography." Okay, download one of those podcasts. So slowly but surely, I started listening to NBA podcasts, and then I started to discover the Master Photography Podcast, which was called the Improved Photography Podcast at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So Jim Harmon used to run it, and Nick Page was there. You would have Jeff Harmon, who does the Photo Taco podcast, and so on and so forth. Oh, Connor Hibbs as well. So there was loads of them there, and I found the amount of knowledge from that podcast was absolutely great. And I was thinking, right, there's no Irish podcast. Why is there no Irish photography podcast? And I was like, okay, there's kind of a gap in the market. So myself and Darren and John Myler are 3 very good friends. Sorry, Darren, he's all right. Like, you know, I didn't want to say it. So.
I know, yeah. Okay, go on. Yeah, fake news. True
Sorry.
story.
We're all very good friends, okay? So then I was like, okay, sorry, I'll rewind this moment. Then I was like, why don't I set up my own podcast? No one else, just me. And then I was like, okay, no, I think I need a bit of help. I need a bit of someone to help me and support me and do things. I can't do this on my own, because it is a massive task to run a podcast. I mean, it's the amount of things that you have to do is absolutely huge. I mean, from recording it to producing it to editing it, social media platforms, you have to keep up with absolutely everything. So if you're to one guy to do everything, it's just not happening.
Yeah.
So then I was like, right, why don't you just ask the lads to come in on it, and we can just go from there, and each of us will just own 1/3 of the podcast. Happy days. So I said to Darren, I was like, would you be interested? And Darren kind of like, yeah, this is actually a great idea. There is a gap in the market for it. There is no other podcast in the whole of Ireland. And then John was exact same answer. So, and literally we practiced for 4 or 5 episodes, and like we didn't release these podcasts. We just practiced at home and just shoot the shit. Like, you know, we just kept on talking about crap, and we tried to have this kind of structure where we go, okay, let's do this topic 1, break topic 2, and then finish. And at the start we said, let's keep it to 15 minutes per topic, and slowly but surely it was just growing and growing and growing.
It just took 30 minutes to answer one question. A minute ago there.
You know, and when you start talking, it's hard to shut up. You know?
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know, I'm going to give
Some
you
find it harder than others. I hear.
shut up. Huh? I missed that part. What was that?
I said some find it harder than others.
All right, okay. I thought it was some insulting joke. Sorry, Tom.
It was.
Well, I'll give you a go. So, Darren, you answer that.
What can I? Okay, everything you said there was true.
No fake news?
No fake news. No, to be honest with you, it was very similar to that. I suppose what we decided to do was have a laugh with it and make sure we had some fun every week. You know, I mean, yeah, photography can generally be about numbers and ones and zeros and this f-stop and this ISO and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But, you know, we kind of had decided to have a chat. We decided to have different concepts. We decided to say, okay, it was when John was involved in it, there was 3 of us, so we said we'd alternated. So one week I was in charge, next week Darren was in charge, the week after that was John was in charge, and then the 4th week was going to be up in the air, let's just say. But now as where it's myself and Diarmuid, because John unfortunately was too busy with life, I suppose, really, and that can happen because, as Diarmuid alluded to, there's a shed load involved in regards to not only the items that Diarmuid mentioned, but all the pre-production that goes into it as well. So you got to come up with the idea, you got to come up with your questions, you got to come up with your answers, and you got to come up with your theme. Yeah. And then you got to get 3 people as well together at the same time.
Yeah.
Get everything all organized, to all get it recorded. And that could be, sometimes it was Wednesday and we're due to release on a Friday. But thankfully, after 96 episodes, 97 episodes, I don't know, nearly 100 episodes, we've not missed one Friday. So that has been quite a big achievement, I suppose. It's been a lot of hard work. Even recently there, like there was periods of time where Darren was extremely busy and I didn't want to miss it. So I took the chair and said, okay, I'll do it on my own. And, it was fun to do it, but it's always absolutely, Diarmuid, you're dead right. It would get very monotonous for me if it was just me talking to me about me and what I think about me thinking about something.
Sorry,
it's just going to, yeah, exactly, because it's all about me. It's only my impression, and I love the fact that what we decided to do, I suppose, very early on with the podcast then was find some ideas that would work, find some ideas that we could repeat, get a really community vibe going. So we created the Facebook page, we created the Instagram page, and that was really good then because it gave us ideas for what we could put on the podcast. And we decided to go with SurveyMonkey. And we asked our group, I suppose, what would they like to see, what would they like to have on the podcast. And a lot of names were thrown out there. And we were like, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. We've got these people who I would have known, I suppose, through photography. I wouldn't have been friends with them, but I'd know them through photography. And you just go, you know what, let's get somebody on the podcast I think could be interesting to do. And I think it started off, one of the more interesting few that we had in the early days was Winslow Townsend.
Brilliant.
It was a phenomenal guest that we had. He's a professional sports photographer. He has front pages coming out his ears of Sports Illustrated. He's the in-house photographer for some NBA or NFL or something like that in the US. That was really good, and that was a great guest to have on. And then we just brought in other guests and brought in different ideas. And so 96 or 97 episodes later, we seem to have something that seems to be working. There's definitely a hunger there for it. And when we look at our audience, it's not just Ireland. So our audience is coming from Ireland, it's coming from England, it's coming from the US, it's coming from Australia, it's coming from Hawaii. We've a lot of German listeners as well, which is strange. So yeah, auf Wiedersehen, or whatever German. Yeah. Auf Wiedersehen is goodbye. Yeah. So yeah.
Darren is actually fluent in German.
I am.
He's like, oh my God, you go away for a weekend with him, he'll try to say everything in German.
I will. I'm not as good as your Japanese and your butchering of names, because that's something that we have learned, that you are the most excellent at butchering Japanese names. So it's actually ironic because we talk about camera equipment on a regular basis, and most of them come from Japan. And Diarmuid does the news, and all of a sudden he looks and goes, "Oh Jesus, I'm going to butcher this guy's name." But he says it out loud before he even says that too, so that adds in more humor. Do
you remember the one that was a Suchi Amaguchi? And I swear to God, guys, something along the lines that it actually took us 20 minutes to get through that one segment. We had to do about 5. Oh, Jesus, that was being coy about it now. I'd say about 10 or 15 takes of this one kind of spot. And you know when someone laughs and then you're trying to do something and then he can't stop laughing, and then it causes the other guy to start laughing and then you can't help it, and then you get to the stage where your stomach actually hurts so bad and you tears coming out your eyes. It's just, we almost just called the podcast a day, and we were thinking of coming back to it. So bad. I mean, it was brilliant though at the same time.
That was one of the funnest ones I think that we've had in all of them. Anyway. So to answer your question, Tom, hopefully that answers your question quicker than 30 minutes anyway. In regards to the podcast and how that came about.
Next question.
The rest, as they say, is his story. Yeah.
Well, my next question was going to be, who was your favourite guest? But I'm not sure if you've already had it.
No. I think that was one of the favourite guests at the beginning of it, I suppose. Diarmuid, you can go first. Who's your favourite guest been so far?
I loved a lot of our guests, and you know, it's asking me to pick who's my favorite guest is trying to say which is my favorite child. Okay. But at my heart, I'm a scuba diver, and that's what I love doing. I have a very special connection to scuba diving, especially because my father is a scuba diver, and we have a very good relationship towards that. And I love underwater photography. I'm not very good at it yet, but I'm making strides in that kind of genre of things. So there was this one guy that we had on, Paul Duxie. He takes these underwater photographers to the Red Sea in Egypt and some other kind of tours around there and on liverboards. And that guy was so funny, such a great sense of humor. And the stories he had to tell were just simply amazing. So Paul Duxfield was probably my favorite. And then maybe Nick Page in second place. I had to get in there because that guy is just an absolute king.
Yeah, and Nick is Nick is different gravy altogether. To be honest with you, he is. He's one of my favorite guests that we had. But to be honest with you, it's very difficult, Tom, to answer the question because I enjoyed every single conversation that we had with every single guest. Every single one of them brought something completely different to the podcast. But it's the jokes that we've shared on so many of them that stick with me so far. And, yes, people can tell you certain things about photography and tell you what you can learn about photography. And you will always get inspired to do more. But I think it's the personalities about people, to me, that brings out the most in the podcast. And, I think we've done a good job of having a general conversation. I mean, look, we're talking here this evening and there's nothing scripted. We're just having a chat, but the same with you as we've done with Nick Page, with Gavin, with Adam, with Tom Heaton, with Maz, you know what I mean? So there's been a number of names that are there, but Diarmuid is bored of me talking since I had the limelight. So I'll bring it back to him because he wants to talk about the fly that's on his eye.
It's driving me nuts. I get him.
Can I throw the question back to you? Who has been your favourite guest?
Donovan.
On your show?
Excuse me for coughing. It was a frog in my throat for the last 20 minutes. He wouldn't get out. Yeah.
On your show, it'd either have to be Adam or Gavin, I would say.
Okay.
Just because Gavin, for his sense of humour, and obviously I do look up to Gavin. He's a fantastic photographer, but let's be honest, he does bring more to
he does
us than just his images.
Yes.
So Gavin would have to be one for sure. And I must admit, Adam's a bit of a man crush for me. Not just for his looks, but no, he's someone I've always looked up to since I started, and I haven't been doing it for very long. So
he shoots Nikon. It's because he shoots Nikon.
He's just got everything going for him, isn't
he shoots Fuji.
Oh, that's right. Fuji.
He's got the big boy sensor, isn't he?
Yeah.
But no, Adam for sure. I love his approach to his videos, his demeanor, his whole thought process. I just find him, and his voice. He's got that when he does his voiceovers. I just can't have a listen to it. So.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
And there's like a sense of mystery about him as well. I'm 100% sure he's a really funny guy. You know what I mean?
He is, yeah.
But he doesn't really come when he does his solo vlogs. He's very sort of like every now and then he lets his guard down, and you think, there's more to him than.
Oh, there is. Do you know that he's got a fascination with pet boudoir? He wants to go into that in isolation.
I saw the video.
We're hoping we're going to have Adam on and have a chat with Adam at some point.
Brilliant. Make sure, word to the wise with Adam, check his mic, check it a second time, check it a third time, and then check it a fourth time.
And keep checking it all night.
Yeah. Paul, how about you? Who's been your guest? I feel like I'm taking over here. Sorry.
No,
Paul, who's been your guest?
You're fine. Probably. I like Thomas. I like Thomas Heaton probably because he was one of the first big ones, I suppose. For me,
controversy, big ones. Nick was on before that.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, because when I first started, actually. Photography in general, I was the same. I listened to the the Improved Photography podcast. So Nick, I probably heard Nick first, to be honest. Yeah. And again, Jim Harmer and all those. That's where I started listening to it all. And then it's kind of snowballed after that. Then I got into Thomas after that. And then obviously Adam and Gavin more recently. I mean, top blokes. Don't need to say anything else because...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know what? We started to make the podcast, and Diarmuid does all the editing of the podcast. So every so often I throw stuff in to make it hard for him, you know. But I kind of got karma biting me in the ass this week because I decided to do the video. And I was telling you there during the week, Paul, but I mean, I just managed to get it edited and get it out. And even within that, there was a lot of rogue audio and audio spills after coming through. Yeah, and I was like, Jesus Christ. And if I look at this thing, it's probably, I said to Diarmuid, like, you know, I was trying to get it uploaded onto YouTube. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes long. I mean, that's the length of a feature film. Yeah. So I basically done my first ever feature film featuring those two absolute shysters and messers, and then Diarmuid as well on the other side of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good to have the guys, and they're great guys and a great laugh, and they bring a great dynamic to it as well. Like, you know, but yeah, they're, like I said, Tom, to answer your question, it's really hard for me to pick a favorite guest because I'm a landscape photographer, and anybody that I suppose that I brought onto the podcast have been in landscape. But we have a few guys now that are lined up. And that aren't landscape photographers. So, you know, that would be an interesting one to see. Well, they are landscape photographers, but they're not known for landscape photography. Let's put it that way.
Different take on things, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Actually, it's funny because we actually have Greg Benz on. We're recording him on Monday. He's the guy who invented Lumenzia.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy, Greg.
So keep a lookout for that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, so what other opportunities have come from doing the podcast then? Like, obviously, like YouTube, we get brands and things that the big boys get. Do you get similar sort of things with the podcast? Have you had opportunities of lenses, a kit, or brands?
This conversation is sponsored by Squarespace. If you'd like a website. / Whatever, you fill in the rest.
Some companies would approach you with some things, you know, like
award-winning templates.
I've never had a Squarespace or someone like that approach me. I wouldn't be big enough for them in any way, shape, or form. But I like
customer support.
Will you shut up, man? Jesus, there's the problem with him. You see, you can't. If there's a mute, what I'd love here is like I have 4 buttons to mute you, or you, and you just go boom.
So then you can just listen to yourself. You might as well just do a podcast on your own all over again right now. Right? All your dreams have come true there.
There is a mute button. I'm going to mute him. No, I can't. The host can only do it. Can you shut him up?
Paul might be able to.
Good.
It worked. But anyway, so I'm a brand ambassador for this company called Lytra, and that came my way through the podcast and vlogging and that kind of sort of thing, which is great. And like, they give me a certain amount of products, you know, at the start, and to give me, it's not much, and I have no problem disclosing it because it's not much. I get $160 every 12 months. And I get 40% off certain products, and I get the choice of 1 or 2 products a year. So it's not a huge amount, but normally, like, it's great to have those products because, 1, I didn't have to pay for what I use, and they are superiorly beneficial to me from a vlogging perspective because I can light myself out and outdoors, and it can make your video that much better, that much sexier. And then when I'm doing underwater video, it's at times it's pitch dark underneath there. Like when you're 35 meters deep and the visibility isn't great and you need to get a certain shot, I have 2 of these Lytra torches with 1200 lumens each underwater, and that just helps me illuminate my subject and enabling me to take the photograph just so I can see my subject matter. So getting that side of things is absolutely great. We also have an absolute fantastic sponsored podcast called Haenel Industries, which are an Irish/German company. So Chris Haenel, he's the owner of Haenel Industries, and I couldn't have met more of a gent of a human being to be the sponsor of the podcast. He's so easygoing. You can level with this guy all the time. You can have a decent conversation. You don't feel pressured, or you don't feel, oh, this guy's super kind of high up there and I'm just this little minnow guy. He makes you feel like he's your friend. And you can get so much things done with it, especially with such a great sponsorship Halen by our side. And they give us products to test out from time to time, which is great. And then we send them back, and they give us certain small things to keep then as well, which is great. So if that answers the question, I really hope it does. And, you know, like this, what we've been doing so far is a roller coaster ride, and I love it, you know. So
moving forward then, is there any sort of tips you could give to someone like me and Paul who want to start something similar, or if you got any things that you'd advise us to do or not to do?
Put yourself out there. I genuinely just fly your flag, wear your flag in your sleeve, and just be bold. Ask for things. Don't be shy. Don't be coy. You know, like I'll make it no secret there and fly your flag.
Get merchandise.
Yeah, we started it and then we got lazy. We'll get there. But like, I make this well known. Like, I've no problem. I've no shame whatsoever. Like, so I approached and Nisi there about 2 months ago or a month ago. I asked him straight blank point. I was like, do you want an ambassador? Do you want someone to push your product or filters, or what can you give me back? They didn't even answer me. They didn't even reply in any way, shape, or form. But I don't care. I will take that on the chin and move on and move to the next person and keep on digging and digging and digging. You know, because if you just sit there and do nothing, then what are you going to get? You're not going to get anything.
Yeah, to be fair, I approached Nissi and way back, and I never got anything back neither. And it was only like
and he's a ninja. And he's got nothing back.
Maybe they didn't know I was there. I don't know. But yeah, and then I was lucky enough I went out with Simon Booth on a shoot, and fantastic photographer. You must know Simon Booth, don't you? From YouTube and whatever. And I got chatting to him, and he's very pally with Case. And within a couple of days, Andrew from Case rang me up. And to be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with the Nissi filters. I love using Nissi stuff, but there's nothing wrong with the Case stuff neither. And they've been so good to me. So I think that means a lot. If
absolutely, like,
I had no shame in approaching the company, but the fact that Case approached me, and bearing in mind I did do a shoot with Simon, but I must admit I was quite surprised at Nissi. I didn't even get an email, John Deere letter from Nissi or nothing. It was a bit.
Well, do you think the interesting thing for me with the filter companies, I think, is that, you know, you can use one filter, you're going to get a very similar result to the next filter. There's not that much of a difference amongst them. Once they allow you to be able to control the light, then they control the light. Where the quality difference comes in here is on color cast, whether there is none or there is quite a lot and stuff like that.
Yeah, and this is a bit magenta, but you know, it wasn't a big deal. I preferred the system to the Lee anyway.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, you put a big stop filter or a little stop filter on your camera and you take a photo, you are adjusting the white balance. I don't care what you say, you're adjusting the white balance later, regardless, because you have to be able to adjust it, let's just say, for the light that's coming through, because it's been gone through that piece of glass.
Yeah.
But as you quite rightly say, I think it's about how easy it is to use the system itself.
Yeah, the system was easy to use. Yeah, and to be fair, the Case one they're all very similar, aren't they?
Yeah,
the holders are very similar. And what done it for me with the Case was they sent me a unit to use, and the only difference was screw-on polarizer is magnetic instead of a screw-on. Sorry, it's magnetic.
That's pretty cool.
And I thought, well, that's perfect. I mean, that means
especially after dealing with the Lee
the
Lee monstrosity. The Lee monstrosity for polarizer is an absolute joke. Now, mind you, I no longer have a Lee filter holder or a polarizing holder. It decided to go for a 9.5 in the high dive in the Olympics.
Oh, was that my fault?
No, on this occasion, it wasn't your fault. You know, so actually, Tom, you know, if you get onto the guys there in case, like, I need a bit of a foundation kit there. I'm filterless at the moment. I can't use it. I can't promise I'm going to do anything for another 4 or 5 months, maybe. But yeah, I'm filterless now at the moment. But I do like the idea of the Case filter system, because again, it's simple. I love the magnetic point of view. But
Yeah.
actually, you guys saw, Paul, is it tripods or filters for you with Breakthrough?
It's filters.
So you guys saw in direct kind of, mine is better than yours, or do you think, okay, this one has this holder, it has that one.
They're much of a
muchness,
muchness.
mate.
It's much of a muchness, to be honest. I mean, they're both magnetic systems. They're both good. They're both
Case do a screw on a magnetic, don't they? It's a stackable system as well.
And would you prefer it all magnetic than anything else now?
Since using the case, it's just easy.
Interesting.
You screw your adapter ring on your lenses. You buy multiples of them, and then you can just take them off, and it's just easy. There's no like screwing. You know, it's like when you're waiting for that wave, or the sun's just about to come up, and you got dinner all down the kid. You just still got the last argument with the kids in your ears.
Yes.
And you've got half an hour to do the vlog and shoot a picture, and you just want to make it easy.
Yeah.
And and the magnetic just makes it so much easier.
Dang.
Me anyway.
Yeah, it's just click on, job done.
Yeah. And to be fair, I still use the 150mm grads. I haven't gone full circular like Paul has, the fact that CPL is still magnetic is just easy.
So hang on, sorry Tom. So the breakthrough filter system has not got straight slide-in 150s, no? Everything is circular in the breakthrough system.
No, you can get slide-ins 150s as well.
Okay.
I just choose not to use them. I think that's kind of Adam's fault, really. He kind of basically put me onto it. He says, "What do you carry those things around for?" He says, "Just blend it."
Yeah, but come here, to be fair now, if Adam told you to wear pink flip-flops, you'd do it now as well, to be fair.
I'd wear them on my head. No, I mean, to be honest, before I met Adam, actually, I didn't really have a filter system. I was using the odd circular one every now and then, and I didn't have a clue about blending, obviously, but at that point. But But once I got my head around the whole blending thing, it just seemed pointless to me after that. Because once I've learned blending, I thought, well, why am I carrying all this extra gear around?
Because you can't do a long exposure, more so than just a highlight or a light control, no? Like if you want to do a 2-second exposure, you won't be able to do that without filters. Unless you bring it down to 22 and bring your ISO down.
I still use filters. What I meant is why would I need to carry around square filter system when I can just...
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, you don't use grads, do you?
I don't use grads. I don't use grads anymore.
And to be fair, since I've been doing more woodland stuff, obviously I don't use grads anyway in the woods, but which means I haven't really been utilising my filter set other than my polarizer. My polarizer pretty much lives on my lens. I must admit, and the fact that now we're in this quarantine thing as well, I do feel like I'm missing the trick, and I need to know more about exposure blending, luminosity masks. I need to get stuck into Photoshop more. So
where's Diarmuid?
I did actually watch one of Diarmuid's videos, and if he puts another one out, I will definitely watch it. Yeah, because I do need to soak some more knowledge in. Much the case is discussed, but yeah.
Well, what I have in my head, because we're such we're closed in what we can do at the moment. So I did figure out what having the lads critique my photographs. Right, so that was great. That's a great learning curve for me, because now I noticed the one thing that they all seem to come out as using
your highlights
and blowing highlights. John, simple things like that. So I was like, right, okay, I need to get onto luminosity.
Sorry.
Learn this, because I've never bothered learning it. So I went in, I bought Greg Benz's Luminenza this evening. So it cost me, just for the program, was $40. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe try and vlog the process of it, kind of vlog, say, look, this is where I bought it, this is how much it cost, this is how you install it, and and vlog my findings as I go on. And I went away and I bought Nick Page's tutorials then as well. So like I'm going to introduce that as a vlog as I go along. So it might be an idea for someone to watch. I don't know. It could be
Yeah.
pressure.
No, I think we've all got to look outside the box now. You know, it's
Yeah, I think so.
and you know we've been talking. Me and Paul have been talking about doing this before for all year, haven't we, Paul?
Yeah.
About meeting up and doing vlogs and in person, and obviously you can't do that anymore. So this has really forced our hand to sort of get running with something together, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. You know,
How far do you live apart from each other then?
North and south.
Could be 500 miles. Is it 500 miles?
It'll be getting into it.
Jesus. There's us giving us about an hour away from each other.
Well, I'm almost on the Scottish border where I am, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down about an hour and a half south of London.
Wow.
So
Yeah, we did try to get Thomas Eaton to commit to going down to that region and going exploring, but he said that he wouldn't do it. I was thinking, yeah, man, you know what? Like, you know, Tom does some beautiful shots around there, like, and I love your woodland stuff as well, to be honest with you. So I was like, yeah, I think that there's lovely spots to go visit there, you know. So yeah, Thomas Eaton said he'd do it, but he's going to do it around the whole course. A route of Ireland, fixated with Ireland, you see, of course, you know, Irish Photography Podcast, but yeah, a whole route around the UK, and I think it would be a really nice place to see as well. Like, so you're down south and Paul is up the north.
Yeah.
Are you southwest or southeast?
Southwest. Yeah.
West. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to go southeast. I have to go to Dorset because I kind of started working with O3, they're a scuba diving kind of company, you know. So they have a shameless plug, but they're great. They're absolutely great. I love working with the lads. So I wanted to go over and do a vlog over in, is it Dorset? Is that where they are?
Mm-hmm.
Dorset.
Yeah.
Portland. Is that it?
Yeah. Portland, Bill.
So I want to go over. We're going to go over and do into the factory and see how these dry suits are made, and then we're going to do a couple of dives and a few vlogs over. So it'd be really interesting. So, yeah. How far is your house from?
Well, I was about to say I'm actually closer to Dorset now because I'm living in Wiltshire now, whereas I'm not living in Cornwall anymore.
Okay. Oh, Cornwall. Do you like Poldark? Did you watch Poldark?
Yeah, I watched Poldark. Yeah.
There we go.
It's brilliant. I absolutely love it.
I leave the two of them there. I'll be back in a second. I'm going to talk about Poldark for 20 minutes.
But Doc Martin can't beat it, mate.
Oh, man. I absolutely love that program. I was talking to Thomas Eaton for about 10 minutes about it. I said, you should do a vlog of all of Cornwall, you know? I mean, like, drone footage in that TV series alone was just class, like, you know? So I was there going, man, that place is unreal. And I've never seen photographs from Cornwall. But Thomas Eaton was saying it's all full of surfers.
He has never watched one of Tom Peters' vids.
Yeah, he should get on the internet more, shouldn't
he? I mean, Diarmuid, like, you kind of... I've only ever seen photographs there from Cornwall from that guy, Photoninja. Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that him? Is that him? Is that Photoninja?
Yeah.
Down there. I want to say...
You're going to make my cheeks blush.
But yeah, we have to meet. When I go over, I'll let you know. We'll have to meet up. Definitely.
Yeah, Dorset's not far from me at all now. No, I'm closer to that coast.
How far is it from?
An hour from here. Hour and 20 minutes, maybe.
Hang on. That's nothing. You give out about Limerick to Cork being an hour, and then all of a sudden, that's nothing. Like, you meet me halfway there, Darren. I don't want to go all the way to Cork. It's an hour away. Like, oh my God! Like, Tom, you've hit a spot there, man. You know he's changing his tune now straight away for you. Oh yeah.
Next question. What's the next question? Is that it? We're done. Yeah.
Have we got questions? Is there questions on this?
No. I think we've pretty much done them, haven't we? I think we've pretty much done them. We've been going for an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You won't. Shut up, Darren.
I haven't opened my mouth. All you've been talking about is your sponsorship deals and how great you are. And
Paul
you want to teach everybody Luminosity and Hallmark.
So what's next then for the Irish Photography Podcast?
I leave Darren out because I hadn't shut up apparently. So Darren, off you go. Have
you got any special plans now we're locked in, or?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things I suppose. Like, you know, we can. Well, I'm doing the releases of the podcast, and I'm calling them the Isolation Podcast. So, it's going to be something slightly different, I suppose, because we can't talk about getting out, but we want to talk about getting out again when we can get out. So,
yeah.
we've done a couple of ideas, I suppose, from different challenges, and every week on our Facebook group. And if you're not joined the Facebook group, search out Facebook, search Shared Photography Podcast, join the group, hit one of the names, either Diarmuid or Darren, and we'll let you into the group just to stop spammers. But on a Sunday, we have a thing called the Sunday Showcase, and it's where people can show their photographs they've taken in that last week. Now, it's going to be more challenging for people, obviously, now. So what we said was we'd come up with some challenges, give people some ideas to take some photographs of, and then allow, I suppose, them to be able to share their work. And even if the case of, I tried my hand here at high-speed photography, think I got it right, but I'm missing this, or did I have my flash at the front curtain or the back curtain, and get everybody to kind of help each other out and kind of come as a community to teach new things from a photography point of view. And then the other part is educate yourself, so use the downtime to get better at what you're doing and get better at what you're liking. So we recommended, I suppose, when we did the podcast, to go watch Nick, go watch Gavin and Michael Shaneblum.
Yeah.
Go download Maz, because everybody's doing 50% off and stuff like that. And that's, I think, where we can utilize the time right now to get people more involved with the camera, not feel so isolated that, oh, I can't get out my camera anymore, I'm so pissed off, I want to get out my camera. And I go through out my camera, like you said originally at the outset, people would look at you as if you got two heads, or might even try to take one of the heads off you because you've gone out there with your camera. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot that you can do with your camera. You can do it at home, you can play around with exposure times, you can play around with different types of lighting. So myself and Darren have done a couple of tests and a couple of challenges on that. So that's one thing, I suppose, from the next phase. But we're just excited, I suppose, really. We got some really good guests as well that are coming up shortly. So, it kind of add another dimension again, I think, to the podcast. We've already had some phenomenal guests in the past. But I think the next phase is what comes with that is different dimensions, different types of photography. And I learned from it because I'm a one-trick pony, Diarmuid will learn from it because he always needs to learn, because he's not as good as he thinks he is. I think, we'll have some good content as well there, I think, for the listeners. Now, whether or not we'll get to do video on all of them, I think, is the next challenging part, because, to edit a podcast, you're taking audio only, but when you're doing video, okay, we're using Zoom right now, but we do something slightly differently, I suppose, when we do our videos, and there's a lot more involved in it, let's just say, to get it done in the way that we kind of want to get it done, So we'll do the audio for sure, but we're in lockdown, yes, but I'm still working. So the business that I work with is classed as essential in Ireland. So I'm still working, so there's no downtime for me. It's actually harder. But I still want to try and get as much as we can and get as many guests as we can on now while people have the time, instead of everybody being released and all of a sudden they're going to be going all over the world again. Not so much as the people in the past, but, people want to get back out again. So expect a lot more guests on the podcast. And then I think the other point then, just from me, Diarmuid, I know we spoke about it on the podcast with Gavin and Adam, but what we're doing and what we're going to try and recreate for ourselves to keep our YouTube channel going.
Yeah.
I mean, you get so accustomed to releasing one video a week. You put yourself under pressure and say, okay, yeah, I can get it done. I mean, with my point of view, I don't get out that often. So if I go out, I'm out for a day, I'll record in the morning, I might record during the day, and I might record in the evening. That's 3 weeks for me, done in one day. I haven't got that luxury anymore. So, I mean, I'm almost out of content now.
I'm the same, mate. It's definitely the same. Yeah.
So you have to kind of think differently, I suppose, really, Tom, and find different ideas. And you know what? Like, look at Thomas Heaton. I mean, he released a video there on Wednesday from his garage. And, I haven't watched it all yet because I looked at it and went, all right, that's a commitment. I think it's over 10 minutes.
But if you think that's a commitment, wait until you have to watch this back.
I know, yeah, but again, I just had to edit one similarly as well at the same time. So that's all I've been doing. That's why I couldn't do the Thomas's one, because I was like, all right, do I watch Thomas's, whatever it was, 16 or 18 or 23 minutes? I'm not sure. Or do I say, keep on the zone? When you're editing and you get in the zone, and you go, okay, yeah, I'm in a flow right now. Bang, bang, bang. Everything is going right. Yeah. You know, you can go through the whole creative process. And I definitely had this creative process with this last vidcast, because you go through the creative process, you go, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. And then you look at your footage and you go, oh, Jesus, my God, this is going to be a nightmare. And you go, all right, I know that there's actually something I can do on this. And you go, oh, this is a disaster. This is shit. Why did I even start? I'm going to start again from scratch. And then all of a sudden it starts to fall into place. And it starts to go, oh, hang on, there's something in this. I like this. I like this. And then you go, oh, yeah, man, I love this. You know? So I think hopefully I'll find that same side of things in regards to what I'm going to record, if I can record around here. I'm not as accomplished as Diarmuid profranes to be. Is that the word? Pretends to be. Sorry, in regards to Lightroom and Photoshop. So I'd never try and bullshit a bullshitter, but I might turn around and go, here's how I do my Lightroom. Oh, to be sure, be Gara. Drink a bottle of Heineken, you're okay. Hey! And you'll be grand.
And you say that I don't shut up. You've been going there for about 8.5 minutes now. Oh, wait, I got another subscriber.
It's my time.
Anyway.
Well, awesome, guys. And what I'll do is we'll put all the links down in the description of this video for both the channels and the Irish Photography Podcast
Thumbs
as
up.
well.
Everybody said photography. What?
Sounds like Adam Gibbs. Do.
Brilliant. Absolutely love it. Guys, from me and Darren, Jesus, thank you very much for having us on. We've had a great crack. It's the most fun I've had now in a while. Tell you. Oh, mighty. But thanks a minute.
Because you know you don't have to edit anything. You got to leave it.
I know, it's brilliant.